One of my best friends, his son, you know what he said before he passed on? He said, God, I just want to be pure again. Can you imagine the Lord hearing that thing right there? Can you imagine the Lord hearing a man down here that's just been twisted all up from a little child? Some all kinds of things happen. And he looks up there and the Lord looks down and says, son, come on home. Come on home. You talk about God's gracious. And I'm telling you, we might look at the fellow, well, he was a drug addict or whatever. You look at that, you look down on him. I'm telling you, that's God knows what happened. He's got every detail. Man, I'm telling you, you might show up there and you'll be behind him. Because in spite of all the damage that happened to him, he resolved to saying that the only place I can get purity back is from that fellow up there that died and paid for all my sins. Man, you talk about that gratitude, that enough faith to believe that and to say, boy, I'm a lost cause. I am done for, and there ain't nothing nobody can do in the here and now. But I know he said he can fix it all. And I'm telling you, that stuff is, God's real about that stuff. God knows exactly. I think that's the devil's plan, to take 1/3 and throw them down below the curse line so far that they have a hard time recovering from it. And then make the other 2/3 kind of bumping along in life and looking down on the ones that are down in the gutter. And that's religion, by the way, looking down on the ones in the gutter. And I think that's the devil's ploy, to get each other, isn't that the devil's devices? Get people to come at each other. And the Lord said, he's saying, I paid for every one of their sins. And all I'm looking for is some of them that want to, they come back up. If they say they want to be up here with me, all they got to do is want it. And I'm going to take them into a kingdom where it's going to last forever and ever and ever. And they will never have to pay for another problem or another sin or nothing. They won't even have a thought for sin. You talk about a great deal. And then you get up there, and another thing you find out, well, those kids suffered things that they didn't ask for. They were polluted, they were molested, they were defiled, and they were innocent. Some of them lost their innocence and that kind of thing. And when they go through that thing, God says, did you ask for that? No, I didn't ask for it, Lord. You mean somebody forced that stuff on you, and somebody made you go through that stuff, and somebody put that stuff on you, and so you had to suffer it, and it was righteous suffering? I didn't want it, but I suffered through this. Well, that sounds like my son, Jesus Christ, suffering for something he didn't do. And the Lord says, well, you know what? I got a lot of rewards for that kind of thing when you're suffering. And what it says that over there, where if you suffer for wrongdoing and take it patiently, this is acceptable unto the Lord. What if that fellow shows up, you looking down on him, he's a drunk and an addict, and he shows up, and the Lord says, you're accepted. Come on in. And you got anything where you suffer for wrongdoing, suffer somewhere where you did right and somebody else did you wrong and you took it patiently? So you know what some of these cats go through, man? They go through 30. That Miss America went through, I think, 40 years of trauma. 40 years, man, of suffering quietly without telling nobody. That's what it says. You take it patiently, you go through 30, 40 years of some wrongdoing, and the Lord's going to reward you for that. I'm telling you, our God's got something coming. He is going to be justifier of all things. And when God says he's just, and when he makes his judgment, it is going to be right down the line. There's not going to be anybody going to be able to question, and he will be able to give the stats on it. And he'll be able to pull the evidence on it. He'll be able to name it right down to the amount of minutes you suffered wrong for doing. And when you didn't ask for it. He'd be able to write that stuff down. He'd be able to put it down there, and he look at us and go, oh, you only suffered, I see down here you got suffered that thing 3 weeks. And then this old boy over here, man, he suffered that thing for 10 years. Whoo, good night. And then good night, man. He come to the conclusion, God, I'm a lost cause, except for thou doest something to me and create me new again. I'm all leaving it all up to you, and I'm sorry. I'm off in the ditch, and I've tried getting up, but I'm broken. And God says, "Oh, come on, because you got the main thing that all I was trying to get from man to start with.